Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Rock and Roll True Stories. And I want to talk about some news stories that caught my eye this week. So it looks like some members of Motley Crue, more specifically Nikki Sixx, is not happy with recent remarks that the parody group Steel Panther made about his singer Vince Neil. And Nikki Sixx slammed Steel Panther as what he put a wannabe band after they made a joke about bringing Vince Neil back from the dead. So in a recent interview, I think it was with Loudwire, Steel Panther's out promoting their new album, Heavy Metal Rules, and they filmed a couple segments with Loudwire, and they were asked which musician from the past they'd like to bring back from the dead. And singer Michael Starr replied, "I'd bring back Vince Neil," to which drummer Styx Zadinius responded, "He's not dead," and Starr countered, "I'd bring back the Vince Neil from back in the day because that guy is dead." And that led Nikki Sixx to tweet, "The singer in Steel Panther can go F himself, wannabe band putting down Vince Neil." Now, one fan pointed out that Steel Panther play Motley Crue songs in their show, to which Nikki Sixx replied, "That's why they are a-holes backstabbers." Now, another interesting thing about these two bands, is that Steel Panther has toured with Motley Crue in the past. In fact, an interview that Styx Zadinius did last year with Metal Injection, he said that the Motley Crue tour was the only time Steel Panther never felt welcome. He said Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx did not like it when we went on tour with them in 2011. That was the only time when we really felt unwelcome. The thing is with those guys, I think they thought that we were making fun of them directly, and I got to chalk it up to their egos being too big, because nothing we do has anything to do with them directly. Now, I don't know if you guys have listened to Heavy Metal Rules. I've been a little disappointed with Steel Panther's more recent albums, especially Lower the Bar and Heavy Metal Rules. I love their earlier works. I felt those albums were so much better. There still are some good songs I like off the recent album, but that won't stop me from seeing them on tour. I saw them for the first time this past summer. It's one of the best live shows I've been to, and I was thinking of going to see them on tour again as they're promoting Heavy Metal Rules. So now we have an update to this story. So it looks like Steel Panther, or at least the band's drummer, has responded to it. So Styx Zadinius responded with 2 tweets. His first one saying, "Sounds like someone needs some effing attention, haha." And he said, "In order to stab someone in the back, you have to be somewhat cordial to begin with." And Michael Starr's not really far off. If you guys saw Rock in Rio 2015, that was by far one of the worst performances I've seen of Vince Neil. But, a lot of people say that Vince Neil really was never a great live performer to begin with. But here's a little snippet of him singing from that recent show. Turning now to some Queen news. Queen's a band I need to start doing some videos on because I'm a huge fan of theirs, and there's so many good stories to tell. And those will be coming down the pipeline on my channel in the future, probably sometime next year. Now, their drummer Roger Taylor responded to some critics who did not like Bohemian Rhapsody with pretty straightforward words, basically saying F you. So he was being interviewed about the movie, and he was asked about film reviewers who didn't really like the 2018 Queen biopic. And the Hall of Famer said F you to movie critics. He said F you all the way to the bank. Now, Taylor's strong language came during an interview with Planet Rock. And despite what some of the critics felt, Bohemian Rhapsody was one of the biggest movies of the year. It won multiple Academy Awards, and it almost topped $1 billion at the box office. But he still seems to hold a grudge towards film reviewers who panned the film when it came out. And he said there was a kind of mood of an expectation of disaster, Taylor explained, focusing specifically on the negative coverage that the movie received in England. He said, "We're a funny old country, aren't we? The trouble with Queen is that we're too popular, and a lot of the media just hate that." Now, the drummer added, "There were some decent reviews, but there were many that kind of sneering and superficial. I thought, you just don't get it, do you? You weren't moved." Now, while he was put off by the negative response from movie reviewers, he was also emboldened by many of the positive comments he received from the actual moviegoers, saying, I think those people know a lot more than the film critics. And the word of mouth via social media is much more powerful than a review from a guy who probably watched 40 movies a week and has probably lost the essence of the joy of a movie. And, if you guys have seen the Dave Chappelle comedy special, which was one of my favorite things I've seen all year, I think he further exemplifies that point. It had horrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, but the audiences loved it, including myself. And I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. I liked the film a lot. I thought it was pretty good. I was a little disappointed that Sacha Baron Cohen didn't play Freddie Mercury, especially after seeing him play a more serious role in the Netflix drama Spy. If you guys haven't seen Spy, it's one of the best shows I've seen on Netflix in a long time, and his acting is just brilliant. I think he would have played a terrific Freddie Mercury. Not taking anything away from the actor who did play Freddie Mercury and won the Academy Award, but yeah, overall, I thought Bohemian Rhapsody was a pretty good movie, and I think we're going to start seeing some more music biopics because they seem to be the hot thing at the moment. But let me know what your thoughts are on Bohemian Rhapsody, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe,